Okay, let's look at mean, median and mode from a table. This is the combined number of goals scored in each of 48 first round games of the 2010 World Cup. So there's 48 games. If we didn't list them in a table, it would be like this. So there was 6 games that no goals were scored. Sorry, I'll change. So 6 games that no goals were scored. There was 13 games that 1 goal was scored. There was 12 games that 2 goals were scored, etc. All right. This data would be very hard to play with, to put in our calculator to recognise patterns and stuff, so much easier that it has already for us been put into this table. But once it's in a table, we need to look at how we do the mean, median and mode. I'm going to start with mode. The mode's the easiest. What was the most common number of goals scored in a game? We look at our frequency table. In 13 games, 1 goal was scored. So our mode would be 1. Because there was 13 games that 1 goal was scored. Okay, I'm going to do the mean next. For the mean, we're going to add an extra column. This extra column is going to be our FX column. This is our scores, and this is our frequency. So my FX column will be multiplying F by X, which gives me 6. Oh, no, sorry, it gives me 0, 6 times 0. Then, let's do our next one. F by X, 13 by 1, 13. Then the next one. F by X, 12 by 2 gives me 24. Next, we have 9 times 3, 27. Then we have 5 times 4, 2 times 5, 0 times 6, and 1 times 7. That's my FX column. I total that column up. And if I total that column up, so my sum of my FX, I get 101. To get my mean, I get the total of my FX column and divide it by the total of my F column. It says here the total of the F column is 48. So I get 101 and divide it by 48 to tell me that the average number of goals scored is 2.1. That is a much quicker and more accurate way than doing it rather than individually entering into your calculator these 48 scores. So you could have into your calculator gone 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 1 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 plus 2 plus 2. Enter that into your calculator, enter all the scores and then divide it by 48. Very high chance of calculator error. So these scores are put into a table, and to work out the mean, we create a new column, our FX column, and then we get the total of our FX column and divide it by the number of games, which was 2.1. Let's switch on our common sense brain for a minute. We're saying the average number of goals scored in a game was 2.1. Does that look reasonable from up here? From the data that we've got, like if we got a score and made an error and got a score of 12.1, how could the average number of goals scored per game be 12.1 when the highest per game, there was only one game that got 7 goals? So it seems reasonable upon this data that around here, around the 12 mark, would produce our average score. Let's look at how we do the median from a table. We're going to add another column. We're going to add a CF column. CF stands for cumulative frequency. So what we're going to do for our CF column is we're going to accumulate our frequency. So for example, just finish putting these lines here. We start off with 6. So in other words, 6 games were 0 goals scored. I'm going to put 19 here. How did I get 19? I went 6 plus 13. 6 plus 13 gives me 19. So in other words, in 19 games, either 0 or 1 goal was scored. Then I'm going to do my 19 plus 12. 19 plus 12 gives me 31. And what this 31 means, that in 31 games, either 2, 1, or 0 goals were scored. I'm going to go 31 plus 9, 40. What the 40 means, that in 40 games, either 3, 2, 1, or 0 goals were scored. 40 plus 5 is 45, 45 plus 2 is 47, 47 plus 0 is 47, and 47 plus 1 is 48. What I want you to make sure too when you do this, 48, 48, so we haven't forgotten any scores. All right, we're on our way to working out the median score. So for the median score, we get n plus 1 divided by 2. So 48 plus 1 divided by 2 is the 24.5 score. All right, remember here are the scores up to 6. In here are all the scores up to 19. In here are all the scores from 20 up to 31. So the 24.5 score falls in here because this band has all the scores between 20, so the one after 19, so all the scores from 20 up to 31. So in this band here is the 24.5 score. So in other words, the median, we go across here, the median score is 2. Okay, so that is just a quick reminder how we do mean, median, and mode from a table.